Welcome. In the world of martial arts, there are names that come to mind immediately. Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, Jackie Chan, and many, many more. Today here at the Pembroke Sunday School is going to be the Zenji-Ryu Bermuda Invitational Tournament taking place. The organizer for this event is Mr. Roots Gladwin Phillips. He's behind me right now just getting things organized, and hopefully we can get, as you see, the tournament there, and here he comes now. We want to welcome you to this event, and this is the gentleman right now, world champion Roots Gladwin Phillips. Welcome. So tell us, how long has the tournament been going on?
This is our 21st annual Shiai Invitational Karate Tournament put on by my school, Zenji-Ryu Bermuda Karate Do.
I got it right, folks. I said it correctly the first time. So all the years this has been happening, it's more than just the Goju-Ryu school that attends. You're talking about Shotokan, Box Alum, and who else attends these events?
We have quite a few schools. We have Bermuda Shotokan Karate Do, like you said, a couple of students from my school, Sensei Skipper Ingham's school, Sensei Skipper Ingham's school, and various other schools. I'll point out that it's a Shiai Invitational. Now, Shiai means like a training camp, which means that if you're in your school training, it's important that you put some of your skills against other students. And so what we do with this, I'm not saying it's not serious, all we're saying is that it's more of a training camp. My tournament is more of a training camp.
Okay, so this is not full contact?
No full contact whatsoever. It's a point system. The first person to 8 points wins the match. And also we have some kata and weapons divisions that's going to be contested today.
And we're back with Sensei Christina Ingham. Welcome, and thank you for having us here for this tournament. Now, as a female, I mean, when people talk about martial arts, all the male names come up. As I mentioned in my opening, we mentioned Chuck Norris. We're talking about Bruce Lee, then Jet Li, Jackie Chan, all these big superstars. But then we're talking about the females like Cynthia Roderick. Roderick, yes, because we've had this conversation before, but people don't really understand that martial arts is for all sexes, male and female.
Of course, yes. There are a number of top female martial artists that came to Bermuda when we had the big tournaments, which is up for 30 years ago now, but there are a number of names that people do recognize, but you're right, they don't get the same amount of coverage and play as the men.
Yeah.
But martial arts is for everybody, all ages.
Okay, so today we see a lot of these children that are here today. Is there any one in particular that we should really be paying attention to?
Well, most of the students today are novices, so this is their first time out, so that's difficult to say. Because we don't really have any veterans, except we have a few adult veterans. Yeah.
Okay, so in starting out in your years of teaching, what would be the advice that you would give those that want to start in the world of martial arts?
Well, start and continue. That's basically all you have to do. And the continue part is very important because a lot of people start and for whatever reason they give up. But if you give up, you lose. If you can continue and keep plugging away, you'll get somewhere.
Okay, folks, coming up right now for the men's form division. On the red side, we have Mr. Andre Joseph, and on the blue side, Mr. Anthony Leader. Third place for black belt men, Mr. Andre Joseph. Second place, Mr. Anthony Leader. And first place is Richard Pulley. These are your 3 black belt champions.
In most recent years, we've had a lot of participants, but this particular event today, we don't have a lot of participants. So what we're going to do, we're going to showcase the adults first. By showcasing the adults first, the kids will get to see what their kata should look like in another X amount of years once they've grown up. So after we do the adults, then we're going to go with the kids.
So basically, this is a training session because from my memories of being in the dojo, the black belts were up front, the white belts were in the back, so that we in the back can learn from what the people in front of us are doing. So you're doing this the same way as far as the demonstrations, letting the younger folks know and see, like you said, what the katas are supposed to be like. Now also in this, you have the kumite as well.
Yes, we do. We have quite a few matches that's going to be contested today in the kumite division. We don't have any adults kumite today.
One of the oldest members of the world of martial arts, as far as veterans, is Sensei Skipper Ingham. And I've seen him do the breathing technique in many, many tournaments, and people just really need to understand how serious that is in the world of Goju-Ryu.
Absolutely. I mean, there's an inner chi. You have to find that inner sense of ability to persuade yourself, to push yourself beyond a level that takes you far and beyond. And that's just a lot of words I just used just now. But let me explain it to you this way. Sensei Skipper and I, we've been traveling away for umpteen years. And every time we go into a tournament, or every time Sensei Skipper competes in a tournament, and I say every, and I use that word strongly, every time he competes in a tournament, the whole tournament shuts down for a few seconds or a few minutes until he's finished his kata, because everybody is eager to see what Sensei Skipper, the veteran of martial arts in Bermuda at 86 years old now, has to do. And he does not let them down. He always surprises them.
And here we are with a veteran here in the island of Bermuda, the world of martial arts, Sensei Skipper Ingham. Sir, you are 84 years old, is it correct?
86.
86. I tried to keep you a little bit younger. One thing Sensei Roots and I were talking about earlier is that your participation in the martial arts tournaments when you travel overseas, and how when you do your chi form, how the crowd, there's a hush that comes over the crowd. The technique involved with this, and you being 86 years young, would you say that's what kept you in this game, in this form of martial arts?
That's right. That's the form that kept me looking the way I look today, young and youthful.
Well, you know what? You do look the same as you did when I first met you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So now you still teach?
Yeah. Yeah. I have a few private students and a few
classes.
Regular
classes that you do, because I know your wife, Sensei Christina, she also helps in the teaching as well.
Yes.
And how about your son Zenji?
Well, Zenji been busy all this time with his job. You know, now he's back in the school. He's teaching. He's got a class, and he's doing pretty good. He's doing very good. As a matter of fact, I just promoted him to 8 down.
Well, congratulations. When I see him, I'll definitely let him know this. Now, you yourself, you held a tournament for a while, was the Skippy Peanut Butter.
Yeah.
Yes. Will you be reviving that as well, or are you just here supporting Sensei Roots?
I'm supporting Sensei Roots because he's one of my students.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a champion of the world in 1994 in Argentina.
Yes, we definitely had that discussion, and how you all returned back to Brazil, and he actually met up with the very person that he defeated. But it wasn't a championship bout, so they really didn't get a chance to either defend or try to retrieve that title.
They just got together. They remembered one another because he was a young kid in Brazil, Argentina, when they first went down there. You know, and a few years later, he's a grown man. You know, and although Roots didn't fight him, he fought another guy from Brazil, and well, he was a champion again in Brazil.
Most definitely. Well, sir, we want to thank you for all the years of service that you have brought forth to this art form of Goju-Ryu, and continue on doing what you're doing. And I'm sure people, as myself, you know, as a former student of yours, respectfully say to you, thank you very much for what you've taught me, because I have always carried that through my life. I may not be in the dojo, but I still train every day, and what you have taught me has been instilled in me, and it will carry me through. So thank you very much.
I noticed that. It stuck with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's good for you, man.
It is, and I think-
That's the name of the game, man.
Yeah, it
This
is.
art, once you get into this art and you like it, not anybody succeeds in this art. Some people get from 1 day, 1 week, 2 years, but when you're there for your whole life, that's something, man. It means something.
Yeah, it is, because it has carried me through. Because I find myself, I had spent some time in the hospital some years ago, and I found out that my breathing technique exercises that you taught me, because I remember doing the Zenji-5 in the tournament, doing that breathing, it helped me through. Because even the doctors were saying, like, wow, you know, what is helping you heal so much? And I told them, Zenji-Ryu.
Internal development. That's what that breathing is for.
Yeah.
It develops on the inside. It's a way to send oxygen to your body when the body is fatigued.
Well, thank you very much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sensei Skipper Ingham, the veteran in the world of martial arts. He may not be Bruce Lee, but guess what? He don't need to be. We'll be back right after this. Well, I saw the other day the Zenji-Ryu masters doing that very technique that he does. And one thing that they've always said, as you said, and I'll reiterate, it's the chi. It's finding that center, finding that inner ability to continue on. Because one thing about martial arts, you're always learning. Even though you can get to a black belt, but then you got to go to the dance in Zenji-Ryu, you know, or you got to go to, you know, the different levels, because you're continuously learning and you never stop learning.
Absolutely. I mean, being an 8th Dan myself, I always explain to my students that, you know, because this is what happens sometimes. Sometimes a student will get to a level of 1st Dan and then you don't see them anymore. But training starts from the very time you set foot on the floor. You're always learning something. There's always something to learn. What I do in particular is sometimes I would sit back, I would let one of my other students, one of my black belts, 2nd dans or 3rd dans take the class, because I also have stuff to learn. I don't know everything. There's nobody in this world you're going to tell me that knows every single thing. So we're all eager to press forward and learn something new.
Okay, so let's take it back a couple of years. World champion in your division many years ago.
More than a couple.
More than a couple. You walked away a champion. I'm sure, as you said earlier about folks that, you know, they get to a certain point and they're like, okay, I was beaten by them, whatever the case may be. The gentleman that you defeated, you guys still friends? Is he calling you up saying, listen, I want a rematch?
Well, you know, this is going to be a true story I'm going to tell you. In 1994, Buenos Aires, Argentina, Sensei Skipper and Christina took a team of, I think it was about 11 of us, down to the WKO World Championships, which was in Argentina. And our goal was to just place. You know, Sensei Skipper sort of makes everyone believe in themselves. He says, you know what? We're not just going to place. We can do something. I'm sure one of us can do something. And that was myself. In the under 45 category division, I won the WKO World Championships. Haven't looked back since. I came back to Bermuda. I opened up my own school, moved myself forward. And, you know, 2 years after the WKO World Championships, we were privileged to go to Brazil, because the gentleman I fought in the World Championships was from Brazil. He was one of the champions of a country that has millions of people compared to Bermuda with 65,000 people. So we were proud of that, right? 2 years on, we go back to Brazil, and the same guy was in my division. And it was just so funny to see him. He recognized me. I recognized him. We embraced, etc., etc. It wasn't the World Championships. I wasn't that lucky in defeating him that time. But it's a funny story that martial arts would bring you back to a lot of friends.
So if you ever want your children to get involved in martial arts, there are various schools around the island that you can go and visit and sign up. And they too can be part of such a great venture in the world of martial arts, as we're going to see the children coming up later in the program. Up first is Talia Iris. And that was Talia Iris showing her form. Talia Iris, grand champion in black belt form, and congratulations to her. Up next, weapons, black belt men coming up next.